Okay, another lousy day in the market, but it's kind of confirming my thesis that we are in a bear market. And I think we're a little bit recessionary. I think there's a whole rejiggering of the whole world's economy. And if you remember back in 2007 and 2008, that created havoc in the markets. In fact, the Fed had to come in and print a bunch of money, as they've been doing ever since, and saving the markets. And I think we're in for more and more and more of that, which is why I believe in Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, gold, some of the harder assets that are at least pretty liquid, like the ones I just mentioned. I'm playing the short side. Now, I have a program called the Cash Flow Machine, where we buy stocks and we sell calls against them, okay? But I've created a program now called the Juicy Put, which is just like the Cash Flow Machine, except you buy puts and you sell puts against those, and you make the income. So this isn't like we're betting that the market's going to go down. We're just playing the trend to the downside. And I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I'm just trying to read the charts. Let me read the chart for you. We're looking here at a weekly chart, right? And so you see a major downtrend line, obviously right here, right? You see that downtrend line. It's not a hard thing to understand. We had a death cross that happened way back in here. Boy, it would have been nice to short then, but we didn't, because we had a market that was kind of mostly going up. But we cannot get above this 200-day moving average. In fact, now we're below the 50-day moving average. Yes, we have a propensity for it bouncing up to the 50, but I think right now we got a relative strength rating in this whole group, the oil drilling groups, or refining groups, I should say, and they are negative. Even though Trump says drill, baby, drill, I think we are in a, if you look at all the oil stocks right now, it's one of the worst performing sectors. They're all slipping like this. VLO is Valero. To me, it looks like it's just having margin pressure, which means as oil prices continue to drop, which they'll do with more supply, you're going to see margin pressure, right? When prices go up, everybody says that's margin pressure, but you at least are increasing sales along with the margin pressure. In this case, sales are probably going to decrease because of the recessionary component of it. And since the price that you're getting for your oil in refining is going to be coming down, I think you're going to have some margin pressure. And if you look at these numbers over here on the left, I normally like to have them really blue and growing, right? But you can look since 2022, 29.16 a share in earnings, down to 25. But look at this drop in 2024, 8.44, and then another expected drop in 6.91. This company is contracting its earnings. Yeah, sure, it may go up next year, estimated, right? It may not. But right now, what we're looking at is this is a trend on the downside. Oh, sure, in 2021, we made 281, and then 10x that. Of course, we see that. But that's gone now, right? Now we're in this downtrend, and that reflected the uptrend. So, all right, so what we've got here is, that death cross. We've got a downtrend, and then I'm going to show you the daily because it looks better on the daily. And so you see this little pattern right here. If you watch my cursor, it makes a long line, that leg down, right? And then, or quick leg down, I should say, and then a little reverse U hump right here. That's what I call the dreaded H pattern. I got it from Larry Pesavento, so it's not original, but I just like the name, and I see it in a ton of stocks these days, a ton. And so to me, this stock looks like it wants to go back down and test this $100 level or $99 level, whatever you see there. And let's go back to the weekly. So that's where I see it going. So I'm making an entry, I'm buying a put, and I'm selling a put against it for income. And I'll show you how much income I'm going to get. So let's see here. We got, you see how this kind of came down and now it's making a hump? It's on the weekly, so it's a little quieter. But look at how far back this now has wiped out. This move down has wiped out all the way back until April of 2023. So it goes back 2 years that this move has been wiped out, okay? Which I find amazing, okay? The next spot is right here, and that bottom is 97.73. That's not a very high volume bottom, so I think this has a lot of propensity to move down to the next bottom, which to me, because there's like a support level here, I mean, it could stay right there. That's a pretty good support level, but boy, if it breaks that, then it looks like to me it's going to this level here, okay? So that's how I read it. Like, look, I'm not trying to predict stocks. I'm trying to play the trends, the probabilities to the downside. That's my goal. So how am I putting my money where my mouth is? I'm buying some Valero puts. Let me show you how the trade is going to shape up. So we've got the Valero puts. What I'm looking at here is I like to buy a delta between 80 and 90. Now, on my other system, it says that the delta is 89. So I don't know which one's right, but this one's kind of fitting the criteria. It's between 80 and 90. It says 81 there. So I'm looking at buying the puts that expire all the way out in December, okay? So those are 242 days out. It's like 3/4 of a year, just less, right? These are the 155, so they're really in the money. Remember, the farther away you are from the current price, higher in a put, the more in the money you are, the more moneyness you have. They call that moneyness. It moves with the market more closely. So this one's moving at an 82% clip with the market. So if you get a decline in stocks that go down $10, you get an $8.20 decline to the downside. I'm buying those, and now look at this. Is amazing to me, right? There's $1.38 of juice in these, okay? So it's only going to cost me $1.38. Now there is a spread here, 48 by 48.95. That's a spread, but it's not too bad. It's kind of tight. So in that, $1.38 is how much, $1.40 now, $1.40 is how much I'm paying, okay? Now that number blows me away because I get to own these synthetics, which perform 82%, 81% in line with the stock. And it only cost me $1.40 per share, or $140 a contract. All right, so that's the base position, okay? Now what I'm doing, and you know what? Maybe we should write that down, right? Let's go back and go to the December 25s, and we're gonna go to the 155 and write that down. So let's just say that I pay $48.90 for it, okay? So I've written that down. Let me show you how the math works out, okay? So I've got that $48.90. Now I'm gonna go here. I'm just gonna do a 4-day trade, right? And I'm gonna go in the money. I'm an in the money most of the time kind of guy, even though I think the stock is going down, and there's a potential for me to make money as it goes down below this yellow level. The yellow level is in the money. So the stock right now is about $108. And so what I wanna do is I wanna go here in the money. And so I'm gonna do the 110s, okay? They're worth $375 to $405 with $1.89 being juice, okay? That's my profit. That's what I'm going for, is that $1.89 of juice for 4 days, okay? So we're gonna write down that $1.89, 1.89. Now let me show you how the math works out. Okay, so I'm gonna go do this trade off screen now, but I think what the deal is we're gonna buy it. Even if I pay $48.90 for it, that's okay. I'm getting, well, now it says $1.94, but let's just use that old number of $1.89, and that's 3.9% for 4 days, okay? 3.9% for 4 days. I mean, if I annualize, 4% for a week, that's 200% a year, right? So that's on the synthetic, not on the stock. So to me, I'm going to go ahead and kind of play this to the downside. I'm going to go in the money this week, and then I'm going to go a little closer to the money, meaning farther down in price, as this trade starts to unfold if we continue to have a red market. So that's the way I'm going to play this. I just want to bring you along for the ride so you know what I'm doing. This is my juicy put strategy. If you haven't subscribed, now would be a really good time. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you think somebody could benefit from this that doesn't know about the channel, let them know about it. This is a way to make passive income from a stock that is actually moving down. Now, I have a program called the Cash Flow Machine where we buy a stock, sell the calls against it, and those do really, really well when the market's moving sideways or up, okay? I've made a ton of money on those, but the market's not doing that right now. And so what I normally recommend is go to cash. Cash is great. You sell out of everything, you hang out, you go to the spa or whatever. Jesse Livermore, who's the greatest trader of all time, said there's a time to go long, there's a time to go short, and there's a time to go fishing. And fishing's not a bad thing, guys. You don't have to play all three sides of the market, right? And that's sideways, up, or down, by the way. You can play this and make a little bit of money. It's just the cash flow machine strategy that I teach in reverse. And so I'm just letting you know what I'm doing, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Hey, it's Mark Yagi, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do that right now. That would be a great favor to me, and plus it helps me get this material out to a lot of other people that might need it. I've got a little bit of a movement going on here, and I want to try to change the world one person at a time, showing them that you can make safe, reliable income from the stock market. And plus it helps to grow the channel a little bit. Also, if you would give me a thumbs up on the video and like it, great. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down, that's cool. But just tell me why you don't like it so I can get better. And then hit the notification bell so you can get these videos as soon as they come out, because a lot of times this is timely information and you want to get that information before it gets stale. The last thing is to join my free Insider Tips newsletter. There's a link below and you get everything in one spot. You get breaking news and analysis also. So that would be great if you could do that too. See you soon.